Hey guys, welcome to the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream. Let's start this over. I apologize. You would think that some people, when they say that they're going to do something and be on time, that they actually would. I'm going to wait for some people to get in here. God damn it. Like, seriously, I don't want to be one of those radio hosts or a podcast host or whatever. I really don't want to be one of those guys, but, like, what the fuck? What up, T-Bone? What up, Netley Mandingo? Franklin the Mailman? Don't forget the Tuddle Daily Podcast is now monetized. You guys can super chat. You guys can donate money. It's kind of like cheering bits when you guys are watching the Bubba the Love Sponge show. Even $1 will go a long way. Like I said, whenever I had it, what up, Jason Martin? But, like, I want to hear from you guys. Like, am I being a dick? Am I being a prima donna by, kind of being pissed off? Like, I have always been that way. Like, if I say 8 o'clock, you would think that you would be at least 5 minutes early. So, you know what? Tampa Terry, I don't need you, buddy. You really, really put me in a spot because I didn't prep to do a live stream on my own. Thank you, Tom Delaney. No, I'm just saying, like, I got... I don't think people realize. I don't think Tampa Terry. I don't even want to hear it, Tampa Terry. You know what? I don't want to hear the excuses. You could have easily messaged. You could have done all that stuff. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about stomach stuff or whatever. You really fucked me. You put me in a bad spot, and I don't appreciate that. Like, I got a lot of stuff going on. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, what I'm trying to say is I got a lot of stuff going on. I know a lot of people got a lot of stuff going on. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm in the middle of, I know it's been 2 months. My dad did not want a funeral. My dad did not want any of that stuff. He wanted a memorial. He wanted a party. He wanted a party for everybody to get together. Now, it is kind of hard to get my dad's side of the family, mom's side of the family, plus all of the iron workers. Where's Terry? Terry jobbed me out, Philip Anthony. He didn't even show up. He didn't give me the common decency to be able to call in and say, hey, I can't make it. Like, I wouldn't even been mad. I could have called a little bit of a audible. I could have done some show prep. I could have prepared for a live stream. But no, I just was going to get on. I was going to bullshit. I had some questions. So, no, I don't. Philip Anthony, do not even message him. I don't want him now. I don't want him now. I really, really do not want him now. I don't. I mean, I watched Tampa Terry's live stream and stuff that he did, or that he does. It's just, all he does is just repurpose other people's content, and that's it. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't need him. I'm pissed. So I'm trying to schedule this party. Tampa Terry is a Canadian that calls himself Tampa Terry. He's kind of a little bit of a troll. He's a big Bubba fan, but everybody hates him, and he gets a lot of heat. So I wanted to have him on, kind of talk a little bit about radio and stuff, and he fucked me. He really did. So, you know what? That's it. I'm done with him. He'll never be on my show again, and that's it. So, yeah, I'm kind of getting this whole party together for my dad, for everybody to get together. Gonna have a cookout. My Uncle Bobby is coming to cook fish. Well, fry fish. He's gonna fry some fish. He fries a lot of fish. He does that for all the family events and stuff. There are a lot of the foremen that my dad hired when he ran the ironworking, the steel erection company. and they all want to come. I don't know if I told you the story about one of the guys that he hired, but he had moved out of state, and he came to the house, and he was wanting to visit my dad, and I had to go out there, and I had to break the news to him. I was like, listen, man, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're about a month late because my dad died. And I don't know if you guys have known many ironworkers, but some of the toughest people you're ever going to meet. And I had never seen an ironworker cry in my life. That's what my dad meant to him. And I know that I've told this story before. There were these three brothers from Central America, that came to the States to work. They were legal citizens. They became citizens and stuff. And they went out on their own business to start their own ironworking business, steel erection business. And because my dad had made them, thank you, JJ Charger. I appreciate that. My dad made all three of the brothers foremen because they were some of the hardest working mother effers you would ever find. And when they went out on their own, you know what those three brothers did? They showed up to my dad's house. Each one of them had an envelope, and there was $1,000 in each envelope. All three brothers wanted to give my dad $3,000. You know what my dad did? He gave it back to them immediately and said, take this money and use it. Use it to buy equipment for your new business. You don't owe me anything. You deserved and you earned everything you got. And my dad was a very well-respected guy when it came to the people, the foremen that worked underneath him. They would do anything for him. Like, seriously, I'm not even, like, joking when I say this, that they would help him bury a body if he asked. So my dad gave that money back to them. It was $3,000 in cash that they gave to him, and my dad gave it back to him and said, nope, use it to invest it back into your company. And that was the type of guy that my dad was. And there are a lot of the foremen that are going to come to this party. So, yeah, it is McDave. Like, my dad didn't even graduate from high school. My dad did not graduate from high school. He learned a trade. He started welding in a factory, doing stuff. Then he started his own steel erection company. If you're ever in Orlando, I guarantee you, I would bet you anything that 90%, I know a lot of McDonald's have gone up since he stopped doing it, but my dad built pretty much every McDonald's that you're going to see in Orlando. And guess what? My dad would get it done in a day. Like, he would hang all the steel. I know it's not a lot of steel, but he would have the steel laid. He would have the decking down, screwed down, welded, all in one day. And this is back when they didn't have all this OSHA BS stuff where you had to wear safety harnesses. This is what ironworkers wore when my dad was working. Boots, blue jeans, no shirt, welding helmet, and maybe a hat. And guess what? They were all hung over as F. They were all hung over. And I'll tell you this right now. My dad, he was a partier back in the day. He was a big partier back in the day. And guess what? He would stay out, he would drink, but guess what? My mom never, swear to God, my mom did not care that my dad would, run the streets, get wild, or drink, or whatever. My mom said, you can do that all you want to, but guess what? You better not, drag up and not show up for work, because my mom would not let that happen. My mom would jump up and down on the bed. My mom would drive him crazy to the point that my dad was like, you know what? I don't care how the fuck hungover I am. I'm going to work. I'm going to work. And he would. And you know what they would do at lunchtime? they would go to a bar that served food, have a couple of drinks. You know, when I was doing welding and I was doing the steel erection stuff, that there were these two welders I worked with could not weld a straight line until, hey, what up, Miss YQS? They couldn't weld a straight line to save their lives before lunch. But guess what? After lunch, they were the most welding mother effers you would ever find, because guess what? They got that alcohol in them. And the craziest thing about it, guess what those guys would do? They welded without helmets on. They would just slap a bunch of suntan lotion on their face. I would love to know how bad their cataracts are right now. I would love to know how bad their cataracts are right now. Thank you, Andy. Because I'm a little bit in a bad mood. I'm kind of pissed off, and when I'm pissed off, I just go after it. Don't forget, I am monetized now. If you guys would like to donate and super chat, you can easily do it. Find that $sign there. Even if it's $1, it will be greatly appreciated. But these guys would weld without welding helmets on. And it was the craziest shit that I had ever seen in my life. And I would just love to see, because if you've ever had flash burn from welding, it is pretty uncomfortable, to say the least. Because what ends up happening is you get that flash burn, you get blisters on your eyeball, and then they start itching. And the worst thing you could do is rub your eyes, because once you rub your eyes, you pop those blisters. Thank you, Franklin the Mailman. Franklin the Mailman. You know, I got to have Franklin on, because I guarantee you that Franklin wouldn't stand me up like Tampa Terry did. When I first started the podcast, the YouTube channel and stuff, I used to do a show and everything with Franklin the Mailman. So thank you very much, Franklin. But I forget what I was even saying. Anyways, the flash burns, once you start rubbing your eyes, that is where the pain starts, because it feels like it feels like the Sahara Desert was just dumped right into both of your eyeballs. It feels like sand is in your eye. It's one of the most painful things I've ever had happen to me. And I was wearing a welding helmet. You want to know how it happened? I was welding in an area. Thank you, McDave1407. Appreciate the $5 there. I was in a small enclosed area that was all like reflective metal. And what ended up happening when I was welding, the flash off the back of the metal that was behind me was getting in my shield. And that's what ended up happening. I didn't even know it. And man, oh man, did that hurt. And one of the worst things that I hated, especially welding during the summertime, you would get those pop-up showers that would just, it would maybe last like 5 minutes. It would get the steel wet. And then when you would be on like a bar joist, trying to, put in some of the bridging to stiffen up the bar joist, and you would strike your welding rod. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had a welding rod shock your taint or your BH. Yeah, it does not feel good. Does not feel good at all. Also, what doesn't feel good is when you're about 3 or 4 stories up and you're welding and a hot piece of metal or slag gets into your boot. It's not like you can jump off that piece of metal. You just got to let it ride. You got to let it ride like you're a teenage guy that's making out with a chick. And you know what happens when you're, younger. You get a little overexcited and stuff, juices start to flow and stuff. And you just let it ride. You let it ride in the pants, if you know what I'm saying. One of the things that I did want to talk about, and it'll be on tomorrow's Tuddle Daily podcast, I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. Friday night, really didn't have much to do, and I saw that Cluster F was doing the bar show. I was like, I'm going to check it out. I logged on. I wanted to get in the chat room just to say hi to everybody. And I threw him a subscription. It's just $1.99, because I'm a baller now. I can afford $1.99. And right off the bat, Manson, and I do think Manson is a talented guy. But I don't know. I don't even know what it was. I just subscribed. And right off the bat, Manson comes out with, oh, I guess Todd needs some information. And by Todd, he means Bubba the Love Sponge. And I was like, what? Because I don't know if you've heard this. Manson has this conspiracy theory that Bubba was paying me under the table to talk shit about Seth Cush when Seth was on the show. Now, if that was the case, sign me up all day. Because he was saying I was getting like a couple $100 just to talk shit about Seth. And, you know, like talking shit is what I do best. And if you want to pay me just to like talk shit about somebody on your show, sign me up all day. Like if you're a radio host out there and you don't want to cause a problem and you want to get something off your chest, but you don't want to say it, you can hire me. You know, it's kind of like that Norm Macdonald movie with Artie Lang, Dirty Work or Dirty Jobs. Dirty Work. It is Dirty Work. So what I'm trying to say is that if you want to pay me money to talk shit about people on your radio show, I'm all for it. I am all no, Iggy T. That thing, your comment disappeared before I had a chance to read it. I think you said if I'm seeing someone. I mean, I've been seeing some women, but none of them want to be in a relationship at all. I've been meeting a lot of spiritual chicks, but let me get back to the Manson and Cluster thing. So Manson, yes, I see you sent someone. Yes, I did. My friend Addie, today is her birthday. She just turned 30. She is the organic farmer that is going to be starting her own business, which is an organic ice cream shop. And it's going to be kind of like a food truck type deal. And I met her one day here at the Hobo Fish Camp. She was actually sitting on that bench right there. I was about to get in my car and leave. And I saw her out there, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk out and act like I'm checking my crab traps. And she asked me, she was like, what is that out in the water? Or, you know, because the porpoises and the dolphins and stuff. Yeah, she does. Oof, yeah, big time. But, I mean, we're never going to be an item. We're just friends. We really, really are. And I've really I like her a lot. I drove her down to Delray Beach to go to her uncle's funeral because she didn't have a car. I got to stay and meet her family. I got to tell you, that was the first time I hung out with a true Italian family from Long Island. I got to tell you, the Italians know how to eat. My God. My God. So, yeah, I sent her flowers because she ended up hitting a milestone. I'm not going to say her. Well, you know what? She posted it. So she just turned 30. And I wanted to do something nice. She just moved to Tampa because that is where she's wanting to start her business. And I just wanted to do something nice. So I did. I sent her flowers. And I know that her favorite flowers are sunflowers. They did like a little bit of a nice arrangement or whatever. It was sunflowers and stuff. I mean, it wasn't expensive at all. I don't want you to think I'm acting like a baller and stuff. But I sent it to her, and she called me, and she thought it was a great gift. So, but back to the Manson thing. So Manson thought I was getting paid. He automatically thought because I threw them a subscription that I was just trying to get info for Todd. Somebody a little paranoid? Is somebody a little paranoid? I'm just saying. And then I really, really did not appreciate Trace's comment as well either. Look, I bust people's balls. It's not like I got butthurt at all. But Trace said he listened to my show the other day. He said he listened to 3 of them. He said 1 was really, really good. He said the other 2 were shitty. And my response to that, Trace, is that I would love for you, Cluster F has a whole studio. They got a board. They got nice microphones, nice equipment, and all that stuff. They got a whole bunch of people on the show. I would like to see Trace do a show on his own. Because also, I'm sitting outside. It is windy as hell right now. It is windy as hell right now. Can you guys hear much of the wind? Because guess what I've done? I'm like the Macgyver of podcasting, and I do every single show. I've talked about this before. I don't know if you guys know this, but everything that I do, every bit of content that you hear me do is all from my iPhone 12 Pro. For a while there, I was doing it from an iPhone 8. So what I'm trying to say is, I mean, that's your opinion, Trace. I get it. Maybe you were just busting balls. Maybe you were just doing something. But you know what? Come on. I would love to hear you do an hour-long podcast all by yourself. Nobody else to bounce stuff off of. And I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, well, you edit the hell out of your show. You guys have listened to my podcast. Guess what you hear in my podcast? You hear mistakes. You hear when I mess up. Matter of fact, you can go back and you can find a bunch of times. Hold on. Yeah, apparently they had 900 listeners when on Bubba's Twitch channel now, struggling to get 50. No, they had 333 people, 330 the other night. So, it's more than what I give for my YouTube live streams. But what I'm trying to say is that they've also had a big head start on me. I am proud of what I've been able to accomplish since the beginning of 2020 with the podcast that I've done. I think I'm up to like 460 episodes. I do it Monday through Friday. A lot of you guys forget that I did 6 months of every single day. I even did Saturdays and Sundays. I did not take a break. And yeah, I know that I have Sirach. I know that I have Charlie on. I know that I have guests. Thank you, David Rivera. So what I'm trying to say is that, oh, and by the way, I think they did on Friday. I'm not gonna like lie or tell lies on them. I think there might have been over 300 people in there. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is I am proud of what I've been able to accomplish, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. That's why I don't call you guys listeners. I don't call you fans. I call you supporters. And I get that because I get that from being a big soccer fan. I watch the Premier League all the time. Yeah, I probably could. Maybe. I don't know. Listen, I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. I've been battling insomnia, so maybe. But that's why I call you guys supporters, because I'm a big soccer or football fan. I have to say soccer for the American people to know what I'm talking about. But what I'm trying to say is that in soccer, the supporters are just as important as the players, the managers, the owners, because they are the lifeline. They are the ones that buy the jerseys. They're the ones that do all this stuff. Thoughts on Ronaldo? Dude, I don't want to get too much into soccer. I'll give you a prime example, okay? Everybody's talking about Ronaldo being old. He's only 37. I would love to look like Ronaldo does at 37. But look at Tom Brady. Everybody doubted, oh, you're going to Tampa. You're never going to win a Super Bowl. What he did? He won a Super Bowl. Same thing is going to happen with Ronaldo. Same thing is going to happen to Ronaldo because everybody's doubting him. He is going to work harder. He's going to be motivated. And the team's already loaded right now. It's kind of weird that your coach, your manager, actually played with you. So I that's got to be a little weird, I think. But what I'm trying to say is that he's gonna be motivated. And I don't know if you know this. Manchester United have been having financial problems. Did you see after they announced he was coming to the team, their stock rose, and the Glazer families, the same family that owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their stock went up 200. They earned $220 million because everybody bought their stock. So right there alone, because they got them on the cheap. So it's some pretty good ass business if you ask me. So back to the thing. What up, Sean Raz? How are you, my friend? I was talking about the other day. Actually, I think Sean Raz was in the chat room when Manson and them were, I'm not saying they were being dicks. Like I can take a ball busing and stuff. I just thought it was kind of a little messed up. Trace was saying, well, 1 out of 3 shows, the other 2 were shitty. I don't know. I just kind of took it the wrong way. I think they're mad because I've been invited to go on their show quite a few times. And I would love to do it, but I know exactly what it would have turned into. It would have turned into, what do you think about Bubba? What do you know about Bubba? What do you want to say about Bubba? All this, yada, yada. I don't want to burn bridges. See it, T-Bone? I don't want to burn bridges anymore because I was the king of burning bridges. I was the king of burning and just completely taking down every bridge that I had ever not at all. What do you mean by that, Sean Raz? Because Manson said, Todd must be wanting some info as soon as I logged on. Manson has said that I'm getting paid under the table by Bubba to talk shit about Seth Cush. And then Trace to say that, 1 out of 3 shows, the other 2 shows were shitty. So please explain, Sean Raz. That's the way I took it. I'm not going to talk about him anymore. But the reason that I didn't want to go on the show was because I knew that it was going to come into that. I don't know. Do not know. I know, like, I've heard a couple of times when some of the other people have come on there, they haven't had nice things to say about me. So that's why I've kind of avoided it, because I did not want any of the blowback. I'm working on my own thing right now. I love Manson. Manson's one of the most talented radio people that I have ever worked with. I love Trace. Trace is such a great guy, but I just thought it was a little crappy, in my opinion. Look, hey, I'll show you the text messages that I had with Trace. I said, I will come on the show, and guess what? I haven't gotten it. It's straight crickets from Trace. I haven't gotten a text from Trace to come on the show to schedule a time. I'm just being open and honest with you. I'll take a screenshot of the text messages that I had with Trace, saying, hey, just Monday, text me, or over the weekend, text me. Let me know what day works best for you, and I'll definitely come on. But I don't know. The more and more I thought about it, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Manson. I would never say that he's not talented. I would never say that he was, getting paid under the table. Do you really think I'm getting paid by Bubba when I can't even go on the terrestrial show because somebody at JVC has a hard-on for me? No, it's not happening. So what I'm trying to say is that I've never, ever gotten paid from Bubba since I got fired in 2019. And that is the absolute fact. I want to be friends with everybody in radio. Talked about this. Ron Bennington told me. Ron Bennington, the guy that I started out in radio with. Matter of fact, while I'm on that, rip Fez Watley. I was so sad. I actually cried just like my dad died when I heard about Fez passing away. But Ron told me, it was like, it does you no good to have enemies in radio. And I just, like Rodney King said, why can't we all just get along? And that's how I want it to be. Like, I want to be friends with everybody. The only bridge that I have not made up with is Mike Calta, and I'm really not even interested in that. I mean, he gave me an opportunity. He gave me employment for a while, and I'll always be thankful for that. But I don't think he has any interest in actually doing it. Yeah, Mike who? Look, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I just don't think he has any interest in actually wanting to repair that bridge that I burned down, because I kind of did. No, I'm not. I'm not. I got something in the hopper that I'm waiting to get a final answer on, that I hope that I will be able to talk about really, really soon. But I'm not going to talk about it. I'm already talking about it too much right now. But all these guys that have thrown me away like a piece of trash, if this thing comes through for me, I'm going to be doing something that none of the other ones that I've worked with before have ever done. I'm just saying. I will leave it at that. And all the people that doubted me, all the people that didn't think I was good enough, the ones that just threw me away like I was just garbage, if this comes through, fingers crossed, but, like, a lot of bad shit has been happening to me lately. So I am not, like, expecting it to happen, but if it does, I am going to be ecstatic, and everybody's going to be like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'll leave it at that. I will just leave it at that, and I'm getting out of here. Tampa Terry, thanks for fucking me, guy. Hope you guys have a great night. Thanks to everybody that donated, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Check out the podcast. Check out the podcast tomorrow. Tuddle Daily Podcast, available on all platforms. And if you'd like to donate, even though it's not on Super Chat, paypal.me/Tuddle on the radio. Or, see, I'm being a big whore. If you got the Cash App, just search Tuddle on the radio. It's got my bio, picture, everything up there if you'd like to donate that way. Hope you guys have a great night. Love you and appreciate everything you guys